Good things come to fans who wait. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most anticipated movie sequels in 2020. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the most exciting and high-profile film sequels scheduled for release in 2020. To be considered, the films in question need to have an official release date, meaning that, despite the likelihood of a Venom sequel in 2020, it will not be considered. Number 10. Bad Boys for Life. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are bringing Detective Lieutenants Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett back to the big screen.
You like that shit? Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57.
Equal parts badass and prone to messing up, our titular bad boys always deliver on the action and the laughs.
Now back up, put the gun down, and give me a pack of tropical fruit bubblicious.
Though neither of the first two films have performed well with critics, they're a whole lot of fun. Audiences love them, and they both have a lot of replay value. It will have been over a decade and a half since they last graced the screen, so we imagine we'll have a lot of catching up to do. Also of note is the fact that franchise director Michael Bay has passed the reins to critically acclaimed Belgian directors Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah. Number 9. Bill and Ted Face the Music. Speaking of beloved characters that we haven't seen in a while, how about this blast from the past? Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves secured themselves a place in the Slacker Pop Culture Hall of Fame as Bill S. Preston and Ted Logan.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
In 1989, they went on an excellent adventure, and followed it up with a bogus journey in 1991. 19 years later, in 2020, with this third and long-awaited installment, they're finally facing the music.
You guys ready? You're up!
Fans have been waiting a long time for this film, and given that a script was in the works as far back as 2010, many had given up hope. But with the film officially in production, strange things are once again afoot at the Circle K.
And it is all because of you guys, and so we owe you a huge debt of gratitude, and we wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
And be excellent.
Be excellent.
Number 8. Fantastic Beasts 3. The second installment in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter prequel films was a notable dip in quality from the first. But with 3 more sequels planned, we think that there's plenty of time and opportunity for this franchise to find its footing again.
Hey. It's gonna be all right. We're in this together, pal.
And for many fans of the author's expanded wizarding world, really, new content is always welcome, regardless of what critics say. That being said, one of the biggest gripes with The Crimes of Grindelwald is that it mostly served to set up future installments.
You came today because you crave something new. Something different.
Here's hoping that, with the stage set, Rowling and director David Yates can truly make some magic happen in this as-yet untitled follow-up. Number 7. The Conjuring 3. James Wan is a master when it comes to building franchises. Not only did his low-budget 2004 film Saw grow into a billion-dollar series, but with The Conjuring, he planted the seed for a supernatural horror cinematic universe. And sure, not all entries into the Conjuring universe are created equal, but the core films have yet to disappoint.
Put her down!
Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga return as husband and wife paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who you can also see in 2019's Annabelle Comes Home. Though details remain scarce on The Conjuring 3, early reports point to it involving a murder trial in which the defendant claims to have been possessed at the time he committed his crimes. Number 6. Ghostbusters 3. This one definitely comes with a lot of baggage. After the backlash against the 2016 remake, many fans feel like it would be best to just let the franchise rest in peace.
I don't know if it was a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell.
That being said, the idea of Jason Reitman helming a sequel to the first 2 films is enticing. There's something nice about the movie's original director passing the torch to his son. A short teaser trailer has been released, but it doesn't give anything away in terms of plot. What we do know is that it will focus on teenage characters, and take place within the same universe as the original films, unlike the reboot. Until we get a clearer picture of what Reitman has cooked up, we remain cautiously optimistic. Number 5. Fast and Furious 9. Cars might run out of gas, but this franchise apparently doesn't. Over the years, it's evolved into one of the most financially successful, high-paced action series in cinematic history. The 8th installment, The Fate of the Furious, definitely suffered from the absence of Paul Walker, but with a strong ensemble cast of memorable characters in tow, this juggernaut clearly has no intention of slowing down.
I'm what you call an ice-cold can of whoop-ass.
After 2019's Hobbs and Shaw spin-off, we'll be getting not just a 9th installment, but a 10th as well, released in 2020 and 2021 respectively. Both will be directed by Justin Lin, the man behind films number 3 through 6, and are sure to once again deliver the massive set pieces and intense spectacle we've come to expect.
Well, I've got a couple of minutes to spare, if you want me to send you to the hospital. Again.
Number 4. A Quiet Place 2. As surprising as it was to see Jim Halpert transform into a rugged action hero for Amazon's Jack Ryan series, it's his foray into directing and horror that has us most impressed. This wasn't Krasinski's directorial debut, but it was his first high-profile project, and boy did he hit it out of the park. With its fascinating use of sound and silence, and emotionally rooted narrative, A Quiet Place was one of the best horror films in recent years. Krasinski's on-screen presence will be missed in the sequel, but the return of wife Emily Blunt as Evelyn Abbott is music to our ears. And with Krasinski once again penning the script and directing, we have the utmost faith that it'll be a worthy follow-up.
We're all right. I promise.
Number 3. Bond 25. Though he hasn't exactly been shy about voicing his dislike for the role, Daniel Craig is returning for one last outing as Agent 007. And considering the great work he's done during his time as James Bond, we're happy to have him back. Skyfall was phenomenal, but its follow-up Spectre was admittedly a bit lackluster. The 25th film in the series has notably struggled to get off the ground, but we're choosing to believe that the studio is just using that time to ensure that Craig's final film is a great one.
I'm not sure I ever had a choice.
With True Detective's Cary Joji Fukunaga set to direct, all signs are certainly pointing in the right direction. And really, a milestone like 25 films deserves a cinematic masterpiece worthy of the occasion. Number 2. Godzilla vs. Kong. Everyone wants a cinematic universe these days, but as King Arthur and the Mummy learned the hard way, it's easier said than done. Thankfully, Legendary has been taking their time with their monsterverse, and so far, so good. In 2019, our giant reptilian protector will be facing off against a myriad of familiar faces, including Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, in Godzilla King of the Monsters. From the looks of the trailer, it's shaping up to be quite a feast for the eyes. Then in 2020, Legendary will make good on its crossover promise by pitting Godzilla and Kong against one another. Suffice it to say, we're freaking pumped for this smackdown of titanic proportions.
So you'd want to make Godzilla our pet?
No. We would be his.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I go here.
You go where?
Harvard. Law school.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
But where in New York can one find a woman with grace, elegance, taste, and culture? A woman suitable for a king?
Queens, have we checked all the passengers' luggage?
All except for the Count and Countess Andrei, monsieur. It is forbidden to search their suitcases.
They travel under diplomatic visas.
Where else could it be?
There is one last suitcase we have not checked. My own.
Number 1. Wonder Woman 1984. This wait has quite frankly been a painful one. In this modern age of short attention spans, we've come to expect a sequel 2 years after any successful film. But considering we had to wait decades for Princess Diana to finally get her own live-action film, maybe 3 years isn't asking that much.
Let's move!
With director Patty Jenkins returning to direct the sequel, we have every reason to believe that Gal Gadot will once again blow us away as Wonder Woman.
I can't let you do this.
What I do is not up to you.
Add to that an 80s setting, Kristen Wiig as the villainous Cheetah, and the mystery return of Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, and well, that sounds like a recipe for another victory. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.